My name is Nix Marikuma, and I am the owner of Marikuma Healing. So, today we are going to be doing our Leo 2026 year reading. We are going to be reading about what next year has in store for my Leo babies. Whether you have it in your birth chart, whether you're born underneath a sign, or whether this reading may resonate with you. Now, for you guys who don't know what Marikuma Healing is, let me just get the quick versions out of the way, right? One, I do card readings. I use playing cards instead of tarot and oracle deck because playing cards are what I have like available, right? It's very hard for me to get other types of cards, so playing cards are the ones I work with. I read palms, so that means I read the line in your hands, and it tells me about your personality and character. All right. I also offer counseling and advice. I am not a certified counselor, but I have counseled quite a few people while my business has been running for almost 2 years. Speaking of which, next month we are going to be celebrating a year of YouTube. That's right, guys. Marikuma Healing has been on YouTube for about technically for whatever reason. That's when they decided to allow me to have a YouTube channel for my business. Other than that, I've tried every which way, and it's still, you know what I mean? Yeah. So other than celebrating a year of YouTube, January is going to be coming up as well, and we'll be celebrating 2 years of Marikuma Healing. That's right, my business will be 2 years old. Now, healing of what, right? Because obviously, card readings, palm readings, and counseling and advice is nice, but what else do I have to offer? Say less, guys, I got you. I do a lot of videos about our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well being. So we learn about how to take care of depression and anxiety, how to handle our moods and our emotions, how to express ourselves in a healthy way, how to focus on listening to what our body is saying, how to rest and recharge and not feel guilty, how to heal from trauma, abuse, and toxicity, how to be healthy versions of ourselves, never perfect. All right, I'm a Virgo. And I make this joke a lot because I know that Virgos as a sign, we're stereotypically like the perfectionist. Everything has its place and every place has a thing kind of thing, right? And it has to be just so. Yeah. I'm saying not on the behalf of all Virgos, but just as like perfectionists around the world, right? All my perfectionist people. The world is not perfect, neither are you, and you don't have to be. You want to be healthy. You want to be able to love yourself and be able to love others. We also talk a lot about emotional, mental, and physical disabilities. One of the main disabilities we talk about on my channel, Marikuma Healing, is all about glaucoma, which is an eye disease that affects your optic nerve, right? So think of it like this: your eyes are a TV or TV is a better way. Your eyes are TV, the optic nerve is the HDMI cord that connects to your brain, which is the Wi Fi, right? And so when the optic nerve is messed up, it affects how you see and also affects what's coming to your mind because you're trying to figure out and use other senses to compensate for the fact that you're not seeing very well. We get into tips and tricks on how to deal with it. I suffer with it personally. I have secondary glaucoma, and I talk about all 4 stages as well as, sorry, 5 stages of glaucoma and the 4 types, which we'll do somewhere probably next year. We'll kind of redo the whole glaucoma thing. We talk about depression, anxiety, rage, and more. I have TED Talks. So far, we have 2 TED Talks and 1 witchy read. Witchy read is not mine. Okay, I feel like everybody has their own version of a witchy read, which is books. My books are mainly witchcraft, all right, or spiritual. And so I read the books that I have on hand to you guys through my YouTube lives, okay? I put a stop on it because I've been trying to do these next year readings. So I'm trying to read the next year so that way everybody's prepared. They have their own readings and everything, and y'all can be like, oh, I remember something about this. This is how I can handle it, right? Give you some clarity and some confidence to walk in for 2026. It's been a fucked up few years, man. I'm not gonna lie. Since 2019 to 2025, it's been it's been crazy, to say the least. Anywho, Witchy Read is not mine, but Dark Minds and Butterflies is my TED Talk. I created it. It's what I host. We talk about life's good, bad, and ugly, conspiracy theories, and theories of other things, right? just kind of an any and all topic type of TED Talk, right? Also, I made it so that way I can talk to you guys and y'all can join me on my lives on YouTube and things, and we can just be jazzing or, just talking and vibing. I like to have different viewpoints and different people because then it makes it interesting as a conversation, and also, you see perceptions in a different site. So, anyways, Dark Minds and Butterflies for life advices, good, bad, and ugly, all things is a free for all. Varar, which is a short version of Benton Rhythm, Rhythm, and Rhyme, is all about emotions and how we express our feelings and deal with situations that may be hard to handle or take care of. Now, that being said, without further ado, let's get started. So, part one for like all my year readings, okay, is just me pulling out the cards and explaining what the cards are. Part two and part three, if there's any, is going to be getting into details as to why are you having these cards, what kind of energy you're dealing with, and what's the situation and thing. Okay, so I advise you guys to strongly, it's good to watch part one, at least you know the cards are out there. Please watch part two and part three of my year readings because they'll give you a lot of information that you guys may need. All right, so what was 2025 for my Leos? Y'all are learning this year about communication, ethics, and introspection, learning yourself, tying into your character code and morals, and communication, expressing and speaking your piece, okay? There is multiple ways to communicate with somebody. I tackle three. One is like people that talk to you, you listen, you hear them, you understand. They wait, you talk back to them, they listen, they hear, they understand. It's a healthy form of communication, right? A second type of communication is people who do not care. They prefer you to listen to them, but not them listening to you. And not the relationship, but the communication is like one sided. It's shady as fuck, right? And then the third one is that there could be like a communication barrier or a language barrier, or how you guys express yourself is different. I use like, instead of saying sus, I use flugazy and shady. All right. If I go to you and I'd be like, look, this person that you looking at and doing, they flew gazy, bro. They flew gazy. You gotta watch them. They're whack, right? What I mean to say is that they have a weird energy and they're doing something wrong. There's something that's not adding up, and they're very suspicious. You feel me? Okay. So, like I was saying, those are the forms of communication. Sometimes you have to be patient with people to understand them. Sometimes you have to understand if it's one-sided, let them go. And if it's a healthy communication, stick with it. But this year has really been about your morals, understanding who you are really, and communicating. Now, for your career in 2026, Leos, all about great wealth and inheritance. So it looks good, right? I shuffled while I was kind of talking to you guys. Oh, this first one that I saw, so I'm going to put it in there. All my days. Oh, okay. I'm on my bed doing this reading, guys. Like, if y'all seen my older videos, you guys would have known that I played like for my office, right? For Marikuma Healing in the beginning. It was just kind of like musical rooms. Here's a time, like for a few months, I'm on this room doing my thing. The next month or next week, I'm doing something else in some other room. And it's just kind of like you're getting a house tour without really getting a house tour. Anyways, for your finance, right? It's all about togetherness, joy and company, friendship, and celebration. So you're being with people financially that you admire and enjoy, possibly, okay? Friendship, obviously, people who support and love you, and celebrating, lifting each other up. This card as a whole is all about togetherness, okay? I'm with my people, the vibe is good, and all that. For your relationship outcome, victory and achievement. So it looks pretty good. We're going to get into more detail in part two. Right now, we're just pulling out cards. What does your family outlook look like? Whoa, that's ugly. Carrying burdens, responsibility, and debts. So maybe with family, you could be carrying a little too much. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying, like, okay, here's the thing, carrying burdens, responsibility, and debt, right? This card as a whole is all about being overwhelmed and overloaded. You have so much things that you have to do, but such a little time that is overwhelming and stressful. So if this is for your family, maybe you're doing a little too much, or maybe you haven't really managed your time and you're carrying in a lot of things because obviously you want to help your family, but at the same time is getting really heavy, and there's some type of stressors going on. Okay, I don't know if your family has been like putting too much pressure on you. For some of you that could be a possibility, right? Others, y'all are just taking it in because you want to be dutiful. And I said it, I said dutiful because we feel like we are, like, here's the thing, some people feel like they are supposed to be, they have to give everything to the family. Your life, your dreams, your things comes into second place when it comes to your family. And even though it's important to love your family and to help them whenever you can, right? Um, it can be very stressful. And if you're only doing, like, if you're doing the up, like the most, okay, you're taking in everything to make sure everybody else is okay, and you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to end up with resentment. You're going to resent your family because you're sacrificing a lot of your peace to make them happy. And some of them don't even know that you're feeling this way. You know what I mean? Just to be overwhelmed and bloated. Either something's going on with y'all, maybe they don't know that they're doing a little too much. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't have to have this type of energy for family. Family should just love you as it is. So, all right. Friendship. What is friendship outlook? Ooh. Powerless. So, vulnerability. There may need to be some open and honest communication when it comes to your friends. Maybe you guys are holding in a lot of stress and things and you're not really expressing it. So, if you have friends that can take it in and help you with the hard times, open up and be honest with them. If you don't really have any friends, Leo, that's okay. Maybe this coming year you're going to be making new connections, but you need to be honest with yourself and what kind of connections you want to make. Like, what kind of friends do I want to be around, right? Yeah, I'm going to put my hair in a messy bun. This is driving me nuts. Oh, okay. This is really, I'm not gonna lie, like one of my more bum looks. I know it sounds like I'm getting on myself a lot when I'm doing these videos, but like I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying like this is like more of my comfortable, not doing much kind of thing. So yeah, but with vulnerability, it requires you to be open and honest with yourself, and also be able to be open and honest with others. You need to be okay with having your support team because Leo, sometimes you guys go over there and you do everything by yourself. You take in all this stuff, and that can cause a lot of problems along the way. All right. All right. So for your spiritual energy, right? Untruthfulness, untrustworthiness, and theft. I think somewhere around the line, whether it's either this year, right, or next year, you're going to start not trusting people. I think that at some point you're going to have to start removing certain people from your life, or you're going to see certain things. I just feel like you guys need to heal and be able to let go, connect with people who are supposed to be with you, and be honest on who's with you for yourself and who's using you for materialistic things. I see, like, it's so weird. I see that you guys are going to go through like some sadness, but there's also like a lot of like arrogant, kind of nasty people that are causing you guys to feel a certain way. So I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe this year's kind of been just showing you, hey, we need to really look at ourselves, focus on what we need to change, how we go about expressing ourselves, and what's really our code. What is the things that we believe in, and what are the things we're happy to let go of, as well as who's with us and who isn't. And that's something that's probably going to carry on next year. Oh no, I just see that there's somewhere around the line something funky happened. All right, January, February, and March. Competition and disagreement. All right, so January, February, March, the first 3 months of 2026 is all about competition and disagreement. I want you guys to understand competition is and always will be a fun game. You can use competition to boost yourself up and get your goals. If you are a very competitive person, Leo, start small. If you're competing with somebody else or somebody else is competing with you, make sure you guys know that it's a friendly competition. It should never get out of hand to where you're out here trying to one up each other to such an extreme. Like, I'm going to be better than you because you are nothing. I mean, you're good, but you're just second best, right? Don't do it. Don't let them do it to you, and don't do it to other people. Okay, the reason why I advise against it is because that's when it can turn into a disagreement. That's when competition can turn into an argument and a fight because it got taken too far. You know what I mean? All right, so start small with your goals, build it up, understand that sometimes we compete with people who don't even know we're competing with them. As you guys know, I have, counting myself, I have 5 siblings, okay? I'm the second oldest. I'm the oldest on my mom, but the second oldest on my dad. I have an older sister. Then there's a younger sister, a brother, and the baby of it all is a little sister, right? And all of my siblings have things that I want. And I had this conversation with my mom like last year because I needed to talk to somebody. And sometimes when I need to talk to somebody, I talk to my siblings or my mom. And I was like, am I a bad person for being jealous of my siblings? Because each of them have something that I want. You know what I mean? They all have something that I really want. And I feel so stupid to not to go over there and be kind of jealous of them. Some of them have kids, some of them have marriages, some of them have new opportunities, some of them are living their life. They have all these things that I want. And my mom's like, does your siblings even know that you feel about this? No, but I'm gonna say they know now, right? They watch my videos. The cat's out of the bag. I've been saying this for a while, so they've known. They've known. It's not a secret. Anyways, like I was saying, right? No, they didn't know at the time that I felt this way. I didn't tell them because I didn't want to be like, that jealous older sister or that jealous younger sister, right? I didn't want to be that. So anyways, my mom's like, they don't even know you're competing with them. And I want you to understand where they are right now in life, they're ready for these things. I ask you if you had the marriage, if you had the kids, if you had this whole thing, right? Do you have the means to have children right now? I said no. Do you think you're ready for marriage right now? I said no. Then why are you angry for not having these things that you're not ready for? And I said, Mama, you're right. The universe, the higher power, the gods may be, go over there and give you what you can. You're building up what you want, okay? So for January, February, and March, just a reminder, we're going to get into more details in part 2 because I know that you guys don't always watch all the parts, but I want you guys to at least know that the information in there is detailed for part 2 and part 3 of these year readings. It takes forever to do a one and done. Okay, that means that you have 3 hours to watch a video. So if you guys are watching the live, and I promise we're going to get into January, February, March, but it would really help me to let me know that if you guys want like a whole video of me just reading it all at once, or your guys are okay and happy with the parts. So that way I can kind of be like, okay, well, a majority of you guys prefer a long video versus short things. Anywho, like I was saying, Don't think that you're not going to get the things that you want. You just may not be ready for it. The thing that you want may be at level 200 and you're right now at 150. Unless you start leveling up, you cannot get 200 when your max is 150. You feel me? All right. So use competition as a game. It should always be fun. It should never be taken out of hand and taken too far. Start small with your goals and then build it up. April, May, and June. April, May, and June for my Leos. Family, contentment, and joy. So having people that love you, that are your support group, joy, peace of mind, and contentment, happiness, okay? That's going to be the theme. I feel like you guys are going to be starting to focus on who's really there for you, who brings you peace of mind, and who makes you happy. All right. July, August, and September. October. So, endurance, diligence, and strength is for July, August, and September. That is the main theme for those months. It's all about using your time, energy, and effort wisely. And for October, November, and December, it will be all about new ideas. I feel like you guys are going to be figuring out new ways to tackle your stuff. You know what I mean? All right. What is the biggest problem that Leo is going to have for 2026? New insight and realization. I'm going to put this back. Hold on. What's your solution? Miscommunication and misunderstanding. So knowing about how to communicate, as well as follow things that you can, like, here's the thing. If somebody doesn't understand you because they choose not to, don't waste your time with them. If someone doesn't understand you, but they're making forth an effort, be patient and try to take your time. If they understand you and it's a healthy communication, go for it. See things for what they are, Leo. Don't, like, 2026 is going to show you a lot of things. And you may feel like if you're seeing a lot of things that are uncomfortable, right? They've been needing, you've been needing to see them. And this year is going to be like, look, this is what it is. This is how it's going to be. And this is what's going to happen. Now, how you deal with it, that's on you. But I want you to see it, okay? If it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's not a poodle. It's not a turtle. It's a duck. And that can be really hard. I'm not even, I know that I kind of sound like a little aggressive when I talk, especially in these videos. And sometimes when I talk to you guys, right? Like, if it looks like bullshit, it's bullshit. It's not bologna sandwiches. It's not tuna supreme. It's bull, right? Yeah, that can be kind of aggressive. But I mean this in a nice way. I say this with love. See things for what they are, not what you want them to be. See people, see situations, and see things with clear lenses, not rose quartz. When you have rose quartz lenses or pink lenses, all the red flags, all the warning signs just look like regular flags and signs until you put on some clear lenses and you see the color, right? And I'm guilty. I'm guilty of a lot of things. I'm guilty of wanting things to be a certain way to the point where I will go over there and ignore the signs. So I'm saving you guys from doing that. Don't do it. See it for what it is, accept it as it is, and walk away accordingly. Like, if you know this is not healthy for you, it's a waste of time, and it's not, something that you want, leave. Leave it. It's fine. It had its time, but it's not there anymore. You know what I mean? All right. What's the theme of 2026 for my Leo babies? Oh my God. resentment and a turning point. There are going to be some people that you're going to have to cut off. There's going to be some actions that you may be mad at yourself for and mad at others. Learn to let go of the anger. Understand that letting go of the anger is not going to happen in a few days, a few months, a few years. It's going to take some time. Just because you got, like, here's the thing, even though you let go of the anger, doesn't mean that you have to forgive them. I'm not one of those healers and spiritual people that be like, oh, yeah, guys, you don't have to forget. Listen, some people, some people deserve forgiveness. They do. Some people deserve peace. They do. Some people do not deserve grace. They do not deserve forgiveness. And I don't think that people should feel pressured to forgive some people for the shit that they made you go through. You feel me, right? Yeah. Let go of the anger doesn't mean that you forgive them, but they no longer control you. And as somebody who has some resentment to other people, I'm working on not hating them so much, but I'm coming to acceptance, like, just because I let go of my anger for you doesn't mean that I'm your friend. And it doesn't mean that I forgive you. And I'm okay with it. I don't want you to ever feel like you guys have to forgive somebody in order to have like kudos and grace, bro. Like, listen, some people, yes. Not everybody, but some. All right. So this is going to be one of my more shorter reads. I think what I'm going to do is we are going to actually get into details. So when this one pops up, I will try my best to also put down in my comment below, right? That, hey, this also talks about the theme of 2025, all the way to your spiritual outlook for, 2026. Because it's about 27 minutes in, man. So why not, right? All right. So we're going to talk about why communication, ethics, and introspection is the theme for this year, 2025, right? Hold on. What's the cause of this? What is the cause? Oh, okay. Empathy. The ability to shut down emotionally, physically, and mentally because your body is overwhelmed, exhausted, and bombarded. Okay? And it's a defense mechanism. So when everything is just too much, sometimes we experience empathy when you feel hollow, empty, numb, and nothing inside. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're a serial killer. You're not a psychopath. You're just burnt out emotionally, physically, and mentally. And it's supposed to be where you can look at it, your problems one by one, address it, get it dealt with without being overwhelmed mentally, emotionally, physically. What it actually does is causes a lot of mental and emotional health issues. Okay? It could be a sign of depression, a sign of anxiety, a sign of some type of emotional imbalance that is affecting how you think as well as how you feel. Because if you don't think positive things or feel like you're a good enough person, you're going to start feeling what you're thinking and you're going to start thinking what you're feeling. They both coexist with each other. And when these two are not getting along, the body's taking in all that stress and putting it in our backs and our shoulders, our arms, affects our organs and our physical, you know, self, as well as once this is all fucked up, the spirit just feels low and it gets low energy and low vibrations. Okay. So with empathy, it's the reason why you guys need to learn about communication, ethics, and introspection. What's causing you to feel overwhelmed? Have you been able to talk about it? If not, why? Are you doing something that's going against your character code or what? You know what I mean? So what's going to help you guys with that? What's going to help you this year? Miscommunication and misunderstanding. So communicating and not feeling like you're not being understood. So work on expressing yourself in a healthy way, as well as saying what you need to say. This is also your solution for 2026. Okay? The outcome for 2025. Nightmare, worry, problem, and guilt. This card is all about being stressed out and just exhausted and just kind of like, anxious, nervous. Anxiety is this one. This one is just being tired and burned out. They go hand in hand, but different stressors for different things. Okay? So, again, we're on November 26th of 2025. And the theme for the remaining of 2025 is all about communication, ethics, and introspection. Please don't go over there and hide this and act like everything's okay, Leo. By not communicating and not trying to get yourself understood, it's going to cause you to block out. You're going to block out everything. You're going to pretend that everything is fine, but deep down inside, you are struggling. You're feeling empty, hollow, and numb. And you're just kind of like, I'm done, but I'm still here, right? Empathy can kill you. I've had empathy for like 16, 15 years. I'm 30. That means half of my life I've been struggling with this thing. And you may look at me, well, I don't need medicine. I tried that before, medicine didn't work. You need to go to the doctor. I went to the doctor. I told him about my depression and anxiety. I told him that I think I'm suffering with empathy, but I don't know what that means. I feel tired. I feel like I'm worthless and pathetic, and I think everything I do is shit. You know what I mean? I think I'm a burden on everybody, and I don't want to feel this way, but I don't know what to do. I wish I could like break down and cry and get it all out, but I'm not that way. And I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like when somebody comes up to you and they have empathy and they tell you, I'm tired. They're not tired in the sleepy type of way. They're physically, emotionally, and mentally burned out and exhausted. They are spiritually drained. And they're just kind of like, I don't know how long I can carry this. Do I even have the right to feel this way? And you do. You do. Sometimes things can go really well and you're just waiting for things to fall apart. And maybe you had a really good life, but something happened and you don't think it's a big enough deal because other people have it way worse. Just because somebody has it worse doesn't mean that your pain doesn't exist. That's why I'm stressing you guys to go to the doctor. I almost got myself killed with empathy. Okay? Because I was blocking out everything and not focusing on my physical, emotional, and mental needs, I put myself in situations that I would have died on. Really, truly, I would have been gone. And the thing is that I love my family. It's not that I was actively, purposely trying to commit, like offing myself or whatever. I wasn't trying to do that. I just didn't really think about it. I was like, well, I love my family. It's whatever, it's fine. I have to make a way. I have to do all these things. So I can't bother anybody about it. I have to figure it out. All right, well, I'm giving it to a higher power. If I die, I die. If I don't, I don't. I don't care anymore. I didn't understand or like allow myself to really sit down and think that if you end up hurting yourself, right? What's that going to do to your family? My siblings would be devastated. My mom would be heartbroken. My friend at the time, my partner, would have been heartbroken because I got myself killed over something stupid, like trying to make it to work on a bike and ride like hundreds of miles to go to work. You know what I mean? I wish I could say that's a lie, but it's not. It's true. Empathy can kill you because you stop caring about yourself. You may love everybody and truly, truly care. I cared about my family. I didn't care about myself, and I didn't take in consideration how that's going to affect the people that care about me. Go to the doctor. Go to a counselor. Go to a psychiatrist, go to a holistic practitioner, go to a physician, get help. I take medicine for my anxiety. I meditate and ground myself and do spiritual calmings, okay, for my empathy. I can take a few days away from it, but this is something that I told my doctor. I tried taking medicine when I was younger, it pissed me off. On top of the fact I had ADHD. So I was taking Adderall and I was taking something for empathy when I was a teenager, and for whatever fucking reason, it didn't work. I always get the side effects of pills. And the doctor was like, look, this is something that we can give you. If you're not comfortable with chemical meds, these are herbs, these are things, these are holistic practitioning that you can go to, right? A holistic practitioner will give you medicine and herbal remedies and organic approaches to handle your illness or situation. Just because you have empathy doesn't make you less of a person. Just because you're struggling with depression and anxiety doesn't mean you're not going to have a normal life. Everybody has their problems. And I'm just saying that your disability, whether it be mental, emotional, or physical, doesn't stop you from living your life. So don't have the mentality like, oh my God, I'm not normal. Listen, being normal is overrated. It is overrated and it's boring. Who wants to be like everybody else? Psst, you're Leo. You are original. You're supposed to be different, baby. And even though you have the confidence and the razzmatazz, you also have to take in consideration of your feelings. It's hard being everybody's rock and standing strong when you don't have a rock or someone to lean on. You feel me? So go get help. I say this with love. I wish I had gotten help sooner. I was too scared. And by the grace of the gods and goddesses, I'm here. But I really was almost killed just because I didn't care about myself and I was just so exhausted and tired. I didn't know that my depression was getting bad or my anxiety was causing me this because I blocked it all out with empathy. All right. Now let's get into your careers, baby. For money for Leo for 2026. Okay? Oh, shit. Okay. Hold on. No. What? Okay. So we're having great wealth and inheritance for our job, Leo. This is due to the fact of untruthfulness, untrustworthiness, and theft. I want you to understand this is a spiritual energy that you're bringing in 2026. So somewhere around career, there's some fugazi, shady, suspicious things that are going down, and you're noticing it. What's going to help you is obtaining resources and giving and receiving money. So if you sense, like, here's the thing, if your career has some fugazi workers, watch out for them. There's some people who may be trying to take your job, maybe trying to take you down. I just feel like if you don't trust anybody at work, that could be a problem. And you may be trying to look for another job while you're still working, because why should I be working with these people that I don't trust? Maybe you're going to switch to a different department. What's the outcome? Okay. Nostalgia, childhood, and old friends. So the past is the outcome. Let me just look at this really quick because I want to understand. Oh, you're right. Okay. Because, like, here's the thing I wanted to understand when I looked at it, right? Why are you having victory and achievements, Leo, for your 2026 career if it's because of untruthfulness, untrustworthiness, and theft? Like, how does this get to this if this is what's happening? And I feel like with your career, I think you're learning about, like, hey, if I'm going to do my job right, I'm not going to go over there and be with shady people. Oh, hi. Um, I am doing card readings for 2026. This is for Leos, so people's birthdays who are at the end of July, so July 22nd, 23rd to August 22nd or 23rd. If your birthday is around that area, I'm doing Leo readings. I'm doing generals, and so far, I pulled out all the cards and I'm telling you guys what your career is going to be like for 2026. So, like how you'd see tarot reading, right? I don't have tarot cards, I have playing cards, and I use them to give me advice and reading the situation, energies, and things for next year. So, yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that great wealth and inheritance is for your career, but it's because of untruthfulness, untrustworthiness, and theft, which is the same energy you're going to be bringing in for 2026. This is your spiritual outlook, and this is the reason why our career is going to be great wealth and inheritance. I think you're focusing on if it's gazy and shady, right? Like if it doesn't make any sense. If you're interested in a reading, like a general, hold on, let me get pencil and pen. You can let me know, and I'm happy to write it down. So, general readings are $20. The New Year reading, right, is all about, like, here's the thing. If you have Airtel, because some of you guys follow me, and some of y'all are from, like, Uganda. I have family there. And some of you guys are from the States. So if you have, like, Uganda shillings, the special is going to be 25K Uganda shillings, which is about $7 to $8 for a whole year reading for yourself. Right now, I'm doing Leo, and so I'm just kind of trying to finish their general reading, like their year reading, which is going to take some time. I'm most likely going to make this into like part one and part two. So, yeah, if you're interested in it, I'll write down your name. I have Instagram, Facebook, and Snap, but I mainly use Instagram and, YouTube and Facebook. So if you're interested in having a card reading, just let me know which type you would want. And yeah, so I'll put you down. Sorry, it's going to take me some time. I'm going to write down your name. That way, um, WAR. So, like I was saying, for Leo's career, right? I feel like you're going to have great wealth and inheritance because you're not focusing on like things that don't make sense, people who are liars, deceivers, that are untrustworthy, right? If it seems untrustworthy, if it seems like it's a bunch of deceit and baloney, we're not doing it. If it's robbing my time, energy, and effort, we're kicking them out. And because we're kicking them out, we're obtaining resources and being able to give and receive money. But at the same time, we're using our past experience to give us knowledge. Do not go over there. Like, here's the thing, if you're running on something that you used to do and this is your career, you're doing something that you had a past hobby or whatever, right? So let's say you liked people, you liked helping others. Now you're on a job that's doing that. Say that you like something that requires creativity. You have a job that ties into that, okay? That's one thing. But living in the past and trying to do things from back when is not going to help you. We're linear creatures, okay? That means we live in constant time of past, present, and future. 2 minutes ago was the past. Right here, right now is in the present. And 2 minutes or 3 minutes from now will be the future. We're constantly shifting through time. So, what does that mean? That means that your past is a teacher. It gives you lessons so that way you're able to understand through experience how to handle something when it pops up again. Okay? You're present. What does that mean? That means you're living in the moment and you're making opportunity and building your future. Okay? So, because of my past experience, I know how to handle things. My present is what I make it because I'm building for my future. This is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity. You know what I mean? A lot of times, and even I'm guilty of it, we live in the past, right? People live in the past, they're afraid of the present, and they don't want to talk about the future. And I'm like, guys, it happened, baby. It happened. Now, was it a great past? Maybe not for everybody, no, but you're here. You cannot be living in the past. It's not healthy. Okay? That causes a lot of funky situations. So great wealth and inheritance is because we're working on letting go of fugazi, shady people and situations. We're focusing on obtaining our resources, stacking our money, right? You can go for a past hobby and make that as a career. I've always liked helping people and I like magic. So Marikuma Healing allows me to help people and I do witchcraft on the side and things and I'm healing others. I'm like, guys, if you're feeling this way, this is how to go about it. Hopefully it gives you clarity and serenity, right? It's something that I've always liked and I made it into something, okay? If I can do it, you guys can do it. But that's what's going on for 2026 job. Um, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go keep on writing down your thing. So hold on. Yeah. Okay. DRASI. DRASI. So I think I can message you back, right? Can I? No, I cannot. Oh yes, I can. Um. Oh God, I don't know how. So if you're interested again in a reading for yourself, Nyx NYXR28 is my Instagram thing. I know how to do messages on TikTok and kind of like a little on Instagram, but I haven't I'm still new to YouTube. I've been here for a year and I'm still working it out. Okay. So Himidara, yeah? Hi. Welcome to the live, hun. Okay. I'm just gonna put it down. But yeah. So we talked about Leo's career. We're gonna talk about your finance now, okay? So your finance for 2026, Leo, is all about friendship, celebration, enjoying company. So we are enjoying company with people that we care about. We are having our friends around and we're just celebrating, right? The Three of Hearts as a whole is all about togetherness. So who's Jesus? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I curse a lot on these videos, so forgive me for the profanity that you're about to hear. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so it sounds like the laughing Kingstons, but I think they're like the female ones. They're like laughing pigeons. Anywho, what is this one? Let me see. Oh yeah, obtaining resources and giving and receiving money is why we are having togetherness for our finance. All right, so things are falling together. Y'all's like finance, right? And your love life is great. Your family and friends, that's where we're gonna kind of be like, yeah, no. So planning, preparing is definitely gonna help you guys get some resource and be able to give and receive money. Make sure you use your finance wisely, okay? I've been telling this to all the signs that I've been doing this year reading for. When it comes to money, it is very important, guys, to pay your bills. Okay, so like when I was living on my own, I stay with family now. Okay, my sister used to do like taxes and finances. You write down your bills, okay, your rent, your water, your electricity, your cable, your gas, your groceries, all that. You write it down. If you do not know the exact payment of them, you round it up to the nearest 10. Okay, so if it's like 111, we round it up to 120. If it's 132, it's 140. Okay, round it up. That way you can have the whole amount of how much you need to pay per month, right? Yeah, we're talking about career, Himandara. Um, we're gonna be doing like here's the thing. For the 2026 year reading, right? I talk about what this year is about, your career, finance, love life, family, and friends, as well as your spiritual for 2026. Then we're going to talk about January, February, and March, all through December, and why the themes are the way they are. Your problems that you may be facing for next year, how to solve them, and the theme for 2026. So that's why, like this reading, the year readings are long. They're my longest readings. This thing can take up to 3 hours to 2 hours and a half because we're getting into details of everything. That way, you know what you're getting into. Um, if it resonates with you, great. You know, if you happen to be a Leo or have it in your birth charts, if you want to know about your birth chart, go to Pattern Horoscope. So, how you spell pattern, it's a white square and has like a black brush stroke of a circle. It's Pattern Horoscope. It's for free. You put your dates and your time of birth. If you do not know your time of birth, estimate it. I don't know my time, but I estimated, and so far it's very accurate, and I like it. Yeah, you can pay for extra readings or whatever, but it's pretty good and it's free. Another one you can try is Starco or CoStar, so CO Star Horoscope. Put your birth date and your time, and it will tell you like your time of birth, where you were born on, and all that, and it gives you like your rising, your moon, your midhaven, and all that, and it gives you different variations of like your star and birth charts. Again, you can do it for fun. You don't have to do it just to figure it out, but it's something nice to have. um don't put your birth date and your information out online. I made that mistake once. Don't do it. You can do it on the app, but don't do it like giving people your thing, because you'd be surprised how you can get away with like a lot of information just off of someone's birthday and time. You'd be surprised. It's a thing. Anywho, planning and preparing and using your money wisely, right? So after you're done writing down your expenses that you have to pay every month, you minus that amount that you have to pay with how much you're getting paid at work. So let's be cute and say that you guys are getting paid two, okay, 100, 1,500 each week, right? And since there's about 4 weeks to three, right? We're going to say that it's 4,500 that you're getting paid a month. But you need to have 2,500 to pay for your monthly expenses. That means you have 2,000 left. So you're going to put 2,000 US dollars into savings. Then you're going to use the rest of the 2,000 for your pocket money. Each time you have leftover money, you put half of it in savings and the other half on your hand. The reason why I say it's important for you guys to have pocket money, right? Um, well, I was saying for you to have for your horoscopes and things if that's what you want, but this Leo reading is for everybody. I haven't done your reading because it's like $6 for something short. But if you want me to tell you something about like your general, like what's just going on in the right now, right here kind of thing, a general reading is $20. I have Airtel, PayPal, and Zelle, and I do it with FaceTime. So I'll go over there and I'll FaceTime you through Instagram, Facebook, or Snap, and I'll be like, well, okay, hi. So that way I feel comfortable doing FaceTime with you guys when I'm doing your readings, because at least you know like who's on the other side. You know that I'm an actual person, right? And you can see what I'm pulling out with my cards instead of just me going over there and being like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this, that, and the third. You guys can actually see me pulling out the cards, doing the readings, and having more of like a one-on-one through the phone. But I'm doing a general 2026 year reading for Leo. So I'm reading the whole year for 2026 for Leos. So that way you guys understand what's going on. We're talking about y'all's finance and how to go about it. So with planning and preparing, you'll be able to obtain your resources and be able to receive and give money. It's good that you guys are using it wisely. Again, the more that you put some savings on the side, it builds up that cushion for you to fall back on. And the reason why I stress for you guys to have a little bit of pocket money on hand is because God help you and the goddesses help you, right? The divine higher power help y'all. If you don't have your phone, your cards got lost, and you need cash now. And you can't go there and be like calling 1-800 cash now, right? Yeah. Because again, sometimes situations get tricky. To have pocket money will also help you out for gas or for food or something. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just having some of it would be good. You can put 2/3 to saving, to a half in saving, and a half or 1/3 for you, but make sure you pay your bills. Okay. All right. So the outcome for your finance is all about wisdom, patience, and diplomacy. What does that mean? That means that with experience, okay, because a lot of people think that wisdom comes with age. There are older people who are not wise and young people who are very intelligent. Then there are, like, young people who are very ignorant and old people who are very wise. If it came with wisdom and age, right? If age and wisdom came hand in hand, that means that a majority, if not all, older people would just be very smart. Not all of them are that way. Wisdom doesn't come with age, it comes with experience. Some people experience things earlier on in their life that gives them wisdom and experience, right? So when we're being wise or thinking things with a calm head, understanding if we've seen this before, how to handle it, and have a calm mind, a calm heart, and calm body. When we're being patient, we're not only being patient with other people, we're being patient with ourselves because sometimes things don't work the way that you want. It's frustrating, but it's okay. If every pork chop was perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs, right? If you guys are into Steven Universe, you'll get that reference. If you don't get it, that's okay. It just means that if everybody's perfect, we wouldn't have differences. There wouldn't be variety. Everything would just be the same. Anywho, now diplomacy. Diplomacy, I think, is something that a lot of people don't understand because diplomacy is a fancy word for compromising. So when I call you guys diplomatic or you have diplomacy, what I'm saying to you is you're a compromiser, which doesn't mean you sacrifice everything you want for other people. It just means that you're really good at taking turns with ideas, combining both ideas and making something new, or being able to look at something and be like, you know what? We're not going to go anywhere. Um, we're not going to agree on this. So let's agree to disagree, right? Let's go on and accept the fact that we have different viewpoints and different ideas, and so forth and so on, right? Okay. Don't sweat it. It's fine. So, again, that'll be really good because you're using wisdom and patience with your finance. You're planning and preparing and making sure things are falling into place. You're obtaining resources and being able to give and receive money. And you're also able to use your money not only for yourself, but for people that you care about. So, I'm really happy. Let's get into your love life, all right, Leo? So, love life for 2026 is victory and achievements. Things are falling into place. What is the cause? Loss and despair. So, grieving. All right. Achieving goals and rest from action. Retirement. I feel like y'all having a relationship with yourselves, bro. Shit. All right. Ah. I just want to understand, man. So your outcome for your relationship is discord, dishonor, and hollow victories, right? But victory and achievements is what it is. So maybe because you have loss and despair, is what's causing you to have victory and achievements. You're grieving, which means you're letting go. You're feeling the emotions and you're letting it go. You're able to achieve your goals and have rest from action, and that's going to help you with your grieving. And the Discord is honor and hall of victory. Y'all's reading ain't gonna lie, is very freaking unique, man. I I want to say letting go and allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel is why you're allowing, like, the reason why you have victory and achievement for love, right? Is because you're finally letting things be. You're letting it you're letting it go. You're working on achieving and getting your stuff, right? So I'm going to go over there and work on my goals. I'm going to achieve the things that I want for myself. I'm going to be able to just kind of take it easy and retire. And I'm not really going to waste my time with dysfunctional energy, people who are disrespectful. And sometimes I have to let go of certain people to have peace of mind. So I feel like the relationship is not really with a partner, but a relationship with yourself. I think you're learning how to self love. And because you're learning how to love yourself, right, you're able to connect with people who can love you truly for who you are. Relationships are not easy. You know what I mean? They're not. And I wish I could tell you that, oh, you know what? Relationships are roses and unicorns. There's always a perfect person for somebody. We're all human beings, we're all flesh, blood, and bone, and we have flaws. The question is the person that you're with and their flaws something you can handle? You feel me? Because, like, they may snore, they may tell you the same corny joke for the fifth thousand time, and you're just gonna have to pretend to laugh about it. They may leave the toilet seat up. They may go over there and be very loud and expressive, and you're very quiet and reserved, right? Personalities may not be the same. Whatever it is, that's different coming from somebody who's going to beat you and manipulate you and lie to you and tell you all these awful and terrible things, and then go over there, one moment they hate you, the next moment they love you, one moment they can't stand you, one moment they're here, right? Like completely Jekyll High kind of thing. You got to know who you're getting into bed with, and you got to also make time. And I think if you guys are really grieving, I think you're allowing yourself to let go of certain relationships that are not working for you, focusing on loving yourself and being able to tackle your goals and have your money and just enjoy your time. As well as, if you do happen to have a partner, do they come with a solid energy? Are they peaceful? When you're around them, do you feel safe? The person that you're supposed to be with is going to be somebody that brings you peace. They'll bring you peace. They will be there for you for the good, the bad, and the ugly. They will support you and you will support them and all that. You know what I mean? Like, there's somebody that you can trust. And that feeling takes time because you guys are going to learn each other. Relationships come in stages. The first type of stage for a relationship is the honeymoon phase. That means every little thing they do is super cute, right? Like, oh my God, they smile and they laugh and they're funny and they're cute and they're smiling. I love it so much. And then after that wears off, right? Because it's going to. It's going to wear off. The little things you thought were cute turn out to be real annoying, right? Things they thought were cute on you kind of annoying as well. And you're going to have to be like, did I stop loving this person? No, the honeymoon phase is over. You're going to start seeing this person for their flaws and things. You're going to have to ask yourself, is their flaws okay? Because everybody's got a thing, bro. I have my thing, you have your thing. Everybody has a quirk, a flaw, an annoying little tidbit, whatever it may be. Everybody has it. And after that, when you start seeing them for who they are, you're going to start mixing and matching and fusing your energies together. You're going to have your personality, see if they're compatible. You're going to learn each other. You're going to learn her or him or them, and same vice versa. And once you guys learn each other and you build with one another and you're actually like learning how to, combine yourself and unite, as well as be your own person and be who you guys are together, right? That's great. But it takes steps and phases and changes. There's the mixing phase, and the mixing phase, people really don't make it. Again, combining your personalities and seeing if you guys make a garnet or if you end up having a malachite. A garnet is a fusion between a ruby and a sapphire, and they balance each other out as well as they're their own person. Sapphire and ruby are individual people, they do their own things. But when they are together, they fuse into garnet. Okay? Malachite. Malachite is a fusion between jasper and lapis lazuli. They are very toxic. Okay? They use one another, they punish each other, they use their anger and rage against one another, and it's very toxic and unstable relationship. You don't want that kind of relationship. You want a garnet. Even though garnet's not perfect, they found a way to coexist separate. Like you can be your own person, right? And be in a relationship. They're their own person and they're in a relationship with you, but together you guys are still very compatible. Learn one another. I feel like for your love, you're learning to love yourself, achieving goals and rest from action. This card is all about retirement, right? So we're taking our time, we're enjoying ourselves. And if somebody comes along the way with good and positive energy, they're a good match. Try and see, get to know them and see where it goes. It could be something really good. You know what I mean? But are they coming up with something like if it's with a funky energy, real crazy kind of energy, right? I'm gonna say it. Don't go over there and play stupid games and get stupid prizes, guys. Take your time with relationships. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Like I'm 30. I don't have anybody. I'm waiting to build myself up and then whenever I'm ready to have one, I can. I don't have to rush into anything and don't feel like you have to be with somebody right here right now because the time is listen. You rather take your time and find the right one than rush into something and get yourself into a nasty mess. Remember, abuse and toxicity has no gender. It can be a woman, it can be a man, it can be anybody. Anybody can have the right to go over there and abuse other people. Doesn't make it cool. Like when I say they have the right, I mean they have the choice to be a dick. A woman and a guy and a person all have the right to be dicks. Does that mean that you should? No. But there's some abusive women and men. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, we're going to be talking about your family outcome. Loss and despair, which is the grieving card, is why we're having carrying burdens, responsibility, and debt. Again, this card is all about being overwhelmed, barm-boated, and stretched way too thin, right? You're just overwhelmed. It's because of grieving. I think you guys are going to learn how to kind of say no and start really speaking your mind. What's going to help you guys with that? Strong belief, defense, and conviction. You may need to tap into your character code and be like, look, I love you guys. And I feel like if your family or friends or loved ones really care about you, they will understand when you tell them, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't go over there, right? And and carry this weight. It's too much. I can help you here and here. You can have boundaries. You can help your family and your friends and loved ones and things, but you gotta have boundaries, okay? You're doing too much. Maybe you feel like you're overwhelming them by asking a lot of things. If somebody says they love you and they really mean it, they will respect when you can't do it on your own. They will be like, oh, you know what? Leo can't handle it. That is okay. That is okay. You know what I mean? It's fine. You don't have to do everything, but you have to be able to express yourself. And when I say tap into your character code, right? What I mean is what do you believe in? I believe that you shouldn't judge people by their sexuality or their viewpoints and religion or politics or their nationality, right? Like, I'm not going to judge you and be a bigot. I'm going to judge you by your heart. If you have an ugly personality, I don't want it. If you have a good personality, great. If something feels a little off, I don't want to spend my time with that person. And it's not me just being like a mean person or anything. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying that if it's affects my peace of mind, it's not worth my time. And not everybody believes that. Some people believe that, certain people should love this type of thing, or certain people should believe in this type of God, or this is the proper way that people should have color, right? Like, you can't be black, you can't be white, you can't be Latino, you can't be Asian, you can't be, what. Listen, we live in a very multidimensional, dual world. Everything has variety. Nobody looks the same, nobody acts the same. Nobody is the same. Everybody's different in their own right. So going over there and just kind of like making other people feel a certain way is stupid to me. Are you hurting children? If you're not hurting children, people, animals, or yourself, we're going to get along fine. If you're hurting children, animals, and others, I don't want it. That's my character code. That's the hill I will die on. That's the statement I will stick with to the end of time and the rest of eternity. All right? So, yeah, in you, allow yourself to be able to let go and release certain burdens and stuff that you're carrying. Allow people to help you out and don't jeopardize your character code and morals for the sake of other people. Because I don't know, like, I feel like some of you guys, your family knows that they're asking a lot and they know that it's stressing you out, but either they don't care or they don't know how to approach you about it, or they don't know at all, and you're just doing the most, and you're not able to talk to them because you don't want to seem some type of way. You don't want to seem like you're weak or that you're not caring or that it's my family, the people that I love, it's my loved ones. I have to do this. I have to carry this weight. No, you don't. Put the weight down. Ask for help. Your outcome for your family thing, right, is all about togetherness, which is the same thing for your finance, okay? Joy and company, friendship and celebration. Your loved ones don't want you to carry all of this. So be open and honest and tell them that you feel overwhelmed and exhausted, right? Maybe your family is not asking you to do a lot of things. Maybe you're just handling a lot of emotional and mental things that have happened to you and is getting too much. And now you're just crying and getting it out. That crash out, that emotional burst that needed to happen, right, is finally happening now. We're having a moment. And it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to do everything all the same. Ask for help, work on your character code, and all that. You know what I mean? Your family, you're gonna have your support team at the end of the day. So be honest in what you're feeling and what you're going through. They want to help you. They want to be there for you. Some of them do. They really do. All right, we're gonna go into your friendship. All right, vulnerability is what your friendship outlook is. Ooh, it is the first card that I saw. I knew you guys were gonna get healing in this reading. Victimization and moving on. Okay, so like victimization and more like forgiving. Okay, so what that means is that there's certain things that sometimes hurt us, right? And victimization is not playing the victim. It's not the oh poor beautiful me. No, it just means that there's certain memories, feelings, situations, things, and people that have wronged us, really done us dirty, right? And they may not be around anymore, but their action still hurts. And we're learning how to forgive ourselves. We're learning how to work on our memories, our emotions, our physical scars, our spiritual scars. We're learning about our triggers and our trauma responses. We're kicking out unnecessary people out of our lives. We are working on loving ourselves again and learning ourselves again. And we're going to be connecting with people who are better for us, who are healthy to be around. That is healing. There's 6 steps to it. I don't believe in all that 12, 36, 5 billion steps of healing. It's 6. And you're going to do those 6 steps over and over and over and over again. And y'all going to look at me like, am I though? Yes, baby. Yeah. Think of healing as an update, right? It's a constant update. Because the moment you start healing is the moment you start unlearning. I started healing when I was 20, 22, 23, 24, right? Which means I had to unlearn 24 years of trauma responses and bad habits and trying to be a more healthier, happier version of myself. And I'm 30, so that means I've been doing it for 6 years. And there's some things you're going to heal from, you'll be able to move past and let go. And then there'll be some things that you cannot heal from, things that will always trigger you. And you're going to have to learn how to handle it a lot better. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't know that. There was a rest of that. So, sorry, guys. I wrote down someone's name and I didn't see the rest of it. So, I'm going to write the rest of it down. Huh. Oh, my days. Yeah, I'm sure that it can wait. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, right? Going over there and working on healing means that you need to forgive yourself. I'm only going to say this a lot of times because every time it comes to forgiveness, a lot of people have different opinions about it. Some say you should forgive because letting it go means that you've truly been able to heal. Some people are like me, and I'm not really about forgiving others. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'll never forgive anybody who's wronged me. I'm just saying for a majority of times, it has to be something pretty dang amazing for me to actually forgive somebody. Once you do me dirty and it's really bad, you're dead to me. You know what I mean? Like you are dead to me. You do not exist. I will never forgive you. You made your bed, sleep in it. Burn in the bed if you want to. But don't come to me trying to go there and hold hands and sing kumbaya. Kumbaya is not going to happen. You know what? Like, you know what I mean, right? So, yeah. Anyways, forgiving yourself is a must. That is the only type of forgiveness I will ever be teaching and preaching. Forgive yourself. People don't understand the choices that you had to make and decisions that you had to do because they don't know the choices that were there, right? Like, you don't know what options I had to deal with. You didn't go over there, you were not in my shoes. You didn't go over there and help me with everything. So, yeah, while you guys are healing, you're going to have to be very open and honest when it comes to friends, okay? I feel like you guys have held on a lot of emotions and now you're finally being able to feel them and be able to ask for help and get people to support you because you've been struggling for a while. Maybe you haven't felt good financially. Maybe there's something that happened in your life that's caused you to really stress out. Maybe you have depression and you kind of been fighting it, or anxiety, or temperance, or whatever. Whatever you guys have been dealing with this year, you're going to really start learning how to let it go and be able to free yourself from thinking that you have to do everything by yourself, that you can't ask for help. Da 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 da. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not. We're going to heal. We're going to feel. Healing requires feeling. I want you to think of yourself at a beach, okay? I want you to think of yourself at a beach. You're on the nice warm sand, and the waves are coming in, right? They're coming in, washing away. They're coming in and washing away. And you see this big ass wave. You're sitting down like this, and this wave is this big, right? And you either can run from it or you can sit down and let it hit you. Those are the emotions. Those are the trauma. That is the experience. You've been running away from the uncomfortable experience and you need to sit down, let it wash over you, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. That's like going over there in the beach, trying to get all that water that the wave was, like trying to get the whole wave and carry it and be like, see, if I let it go, well, I'm gonna forget about it. It won't hurt. I don't know. Why are we holding on to it? Why are you holding on to something that is making you uncomfortable? Sweetheart, apple of my eye, and peaches and creams. All right, darling angels, don't do that to yourself. Let it go. Letting go means I'll forget you, not forget, but it will no longer control you. That doesn't mean I forgive them. You don't have to forgive them. But baby, you gotta forgive yourself. We did what we thought was right. Everybody had to make tough choices. And your tough decision doesn't mean that it's any less or more than anybody else. Everybody has their own type of tolerance depending on what it could be. So right now we're focusing on letting go of the pain, letting go of the hurt, letting go of the madness. You need peace. In order to have peace, you have to feel the uncomfortable things. The first three steps of healing is the hardest ones. Okay? The last three steps of healing is fun. So again, forgive yourself, be loving and kind, work on your mental, which is memories, emotional, which is feelings, spiritual, which is sensing or kind of like, having flashbacks or whatever, and physical, scars. Work on your trauma responses, work on your PTSD and triggers. Those are your first three steps of healing. Once you work on that, your PTSD is post traumatic stress disorder. You see this a lot on nurses, doctors, firefighters, police officers, people who are veterans or soldiers and things, people who have high stressed, high anxiety type jobs. Certain things stick with you, and a lot of times our PTSD is like inner scars. So the scars are within us, not around, right? Some of them are both. So when you're working on our triggers, we're working on what sets us off, why does it set us off, and how to go about it in a healthy way, right? Yeah. All right. So we talked about the threes. Now it's time to talk about this last three. The fourth step of healing, right? Fourth step. Block and delete and cut off communication from people who have peasant energy. What is peasant energy? Peasant energy is people with low vibrations, okay? Life is full of lessons and blessings. If you don't understand the lesson, you cannot get the blessing. And sometimes lessons and blessings are the same thing. So, lessons is what teaches you, gives you experience. So, say that you want to be a patient person, right? You want to be the most patient person in the world. You're going to have to deal with people who are going to test your patience, to build your patience. I want to be a smart person. You're going to be put in situations that test your way of thinking, that test your creativity, that test your problem solving to get wise. I want to be a loving person. You're going to deal with a lot of broken people. You're going to deal with situations and try to figure out what's a healthy form of love and what is not a healthy form of love. I want to be strong. You're going to be put in situations that are going to test your strength. My point is that a lesson always teaches you something. It gives you wisdom and experience through the lesson that is teaching you, whether it's being smart, patient, whatever, right? Blessings, situations, people, or things that lift you up and take you to a higher thing. So if I give somebody a job, that is a blessing because I need somebody to help me and they need some work. So we're helping each other out. That's a blessing. We're raising each other and taking ourselves to the next level, right? Sometimes a lesson is a blessing. Sometimes things don't work out the way that you want, and you're learning to let go to find out if you had to hold on to this thing, it would have been way worse. A lesson that turned out to be a blessing, right? Blessing in a lesson. Sometimes blessings are here to teach you how to handle things and also what to look forward on. People with peasant energy refuse to learn about the lesson in blessing. They always see the ugly things. Okay, so this isn't good enough, it's falling apart. These cards are old, how can you read from them? This cup is plain, it should be something else. Oh, look at this, look at that. This is ugly. You're never going to mean up to anything. You're nothing. Da, da, da. Always so negative. They have a problem, you try to help them out. No, it's not going to work. This isn't going to happen. They want you to be like, I want you to guys understand peasants are real. You also call them energy vampires, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, um, negative, low vibrational people. They are never happy, like ever. Okay? No matter what you do, no matter how much you try, you can never make them happy. That's their problem. If you want to go over there and be unhappy, that is your problem. Don't come over to me when I'm trying to give you solutions and you're just shooting my solutions down. And also, when you're around people with that type of energy, that type of negativity, right? They will give you anxiety. They will give you depression. They will make you feel overwhelmed. They'll make you feel tired. They take from your mind, your body, and your soul. They're sucking your life force out, whether they know they're doing it or whether they don't know that they're doing it. But they're not healthy to be around. So cut yourself from those people. That's your fourth step of healing. Cut them out. There's no need for them. You know what I mean? There isn't. Like why in God's green earth am I gonna go over there and waste my time with this? No. Okay. High vibrations, queen, king, and royal in between energy is up here. Peasant energy is down here. They refuse to rise and meet you at this level. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna pick you down until they're higher than you or you're at their level without being able to lift up. Okay? Don't feel bad about kicking people out of your life, especially if they're stressful. But understand that you did what you could and you worked on your best and you should forgive yourself. You should work on your scars and your trauma responses. Kick people out of your life that are no longer worthy of being in it because, again, new year, new me, new things. I'm not about to go over there and entertain bullshit. And if I'm not going to entertain it, neither should you. You know what I mean? You deserve peace. You deserve happy, healthy, calm people with positive energy and people who are just like, happy about everything. Now, I'm not saying, like, here's the thing there's nothing wrong with being angry, okay? Because there's also toxic positivity. And what toxic positivity is people who are always happy and refuse to see the wrong. I am not always a positive person. I am not always happy. I am sometimes overwhelmed and stressed and angry and upset and sad. And I allow myself to feel those feelings and then I work on moving past them. Just because you're being positive doesn't mean that you always have to look on the sunny side because you're avoiding certain issues that are going to come up over and over again. And you're going to be like, well, as long as I'm over here, ding, oh my goodness, everything's fine, right? So if I break my arm, instead of being, oh God, guys, it's okay. I may have broken my arm, but it's fine. Feel your feelings. You're suppressing your negative emotions because you think about being positive, being a happy and more, energetic and light person. You can be a positive person and still have pain. I just don't believe in being happy all the time. If you're not happy, you're not happy. You just can't go over there and hold on to it. And we all have our struggles with certain types of emotion. There's a lot of anger I have to certain people. I'm working on myself to letting it go. Because the last thing I need is to be in a relationship, have kids, and be fucking upset all the time. And then vice versa, just being happy all the time. You're not going to be happy all the time. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. You know what I mean? Feel your feelings, good and bad, and allow yourself to accept them, embrace them, and then let it go. Like the waves, it washes over you and it goes back into the sea, to the lake, to the river, to the pond, to the tiny puddle. I don't know, but it goes back. We're not out here holding on all the water, man. Like, listen, we all got our baggage, baby, but you can't be holding on to all that luggage. Now, some of them you can't. Not all of them. You gotta let it go. Set them suckers free. Now, fifth step of healing, right? You're learning yourself again. You've been learning, like, here's the thing. You've been in survival mode for so long that you haven't learned how to really live your life again. You need to relearn who you are, what you want, try new things, take yourself out on a date, okay? When I was healing and feeling, once in a rare moon, I used to go out on a date. I used to take myself out, watch a movie, try new things, explore, just finding myself, figuring myself out again, learning who I am and what I want. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anywho, our sixth step of healing is embracing ourselves and embracing other people with the same like mindedness. Now, because you're going to be healing, you're going to be able to obtain resources and give and receive money because you're not allowing anything to get in your way. You're not allowing certain stuff from the past to block you from getting your blessings. You're removing people who have been blocking your blessings, the negative peasant energy, okay? And also, you're learning how to pace yourself. Recuperation and recovery is finding your rhythm and beat, okay? A lot of people will tell you that when it comes to what is it? When it comes to finding a rhythm and beat, right? When it's time to find balance in your life, that balance in your life should be like this. Listen, on the inside, it should feel like this. It should at least feel like that, okay? It should feel like a steady flow of force. That's what it should feel like inside you. Now, your life outside the body is never going to be this. It's going to be this. It's in constant motion, constant rhythm, and constant beat. Okay? So I work, I rest, I plan, I have fun. I work, I rest, I have plan, I have fun. I work, I rest, I have plan, and I have fun. Din, da, din, da, din, da, din. And once you're starting to find your rhythm and beat, you take a slow pace and then you build it up a little and then you find that steady rhythm. Okay? So I feel like with friendship, you're going to be very open with yourself. You're going to ask yourself who's supposed to be with you and who is not, who is a good friend, who is not. Obtain your resources, focus on your money, stack that dough, and just take time to balance yourself out a bit. Okay? All right. Yeah, we're going to do part. I may just do this as a one and go. I guess. I mean, so, yeah, so we're going to talk about your spiritual outlook, okay, Leo? We talked about your friendship and everything, untruthfulness, untrustworthiness, and theft. So I think because you've been taken advantage of before, and also you guys are carrying in a lot of weight, You know what I mean? Like you're doing it out of like, okay, here's the thing. You're doing a lot of things and it is for a good reason, but you're doing too much. You're not asking for help, and you're learning this coming year, 2026 is going to teach you to sit down, work on what you can do and what you cannot do, be able to ask for help. You have people to love and support you. There's some fake people in your lives and bad habits that you've picked up that you need to work on, okay? My bad habits of not asking for help, kind of carrying a little too much weight, not wanting to look a certain way, right? Yeah, that's gonna have to change because it's fucking with you mentally and emotionally, which is gonna break down your body and your soul, okay? And again, this card has popped up like 3 times. Togetherness, friendship, celebration, joy, and company. It's the same outcome for your finance, okay? And so, because we're working on togetherness, we're working on our support team, we're making sure that whoever is our support team is someone that we can trust, somebody who is honest, somebody who doesn't rob us of time, energy, and effort, okay? We are going to use wisdom, patience, and diplomacy. Wisdom, again, is through experience. So, through experience, I have learned how to handle situations. That has given me wisdom to handle things that are going to come back up again. Okay? Think of life as a video game and you only have one life bar. All right? I have one life, you have one life. And if something happens to that life, we cannot respond or regroup or redo the thing. So each quest, each mission, each type of like, errand or whatever the game gives us. So if we have to do a side quest, we are learning combinations, we're learning about, moves and how to heal and revive ourselves, how to handle this and that, because we're going to have to see it again for the final level, the boss level, right? And when we're dealing with the boss level, we're using all the experience that we learned on our quest, on our training, and playing through the game, right? And I'm sorry, I'm listening to outside and I'm trying to focus on here. Um, so like I was saying, right? You have learned how to defeat the boss level because you're doing your training, your side quests, and mission. If you don't do your quests, your missions, and your side training, right? You're not going to understand how to take on the final boss. That is your running again with your situations, right? So it goes really a lot with experience, going with wisdom, patience, being patient in your mind, body, and soul. Be patient with yourself. You'll get there when you get there. And you also have to make sure you take time for other people because not everybody thinks and does things like you do. And when it comes to diplomacy, diplomacy doesn't mean that I am sacrificing and giving up everything for somebody. We take turns. I try your idea, next time we try mine. We combined ideas and make something new. Or we agree to disagree. Okay? And that's fine as well. Now, new ideas is going to be your outcome. You're going to find new ideas. I'm sorry, I'm going to be right back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was checking up on my dad. Anywho, like I was saying, right? You're gonna come up with new ideas to handle your problem in situations. You're gonna work on your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. We are going to be wise, use experience, be patient with ourselves and others, be able to combine ideas, take turns, or agree to disagree. We are focusing on people that make us feel together and whole. We are not going to go over there and entertain untruthful, untrustworthy, flugazy, shady people who rob us of time, energy, effort, and peace of mind. Now, I am going to make this a two-potter, all right? And we're going to talk in part two, January through December, obstacles, solutions, and also the theme of 2026. All right. So, as always, guys, thank you all so much for the love and support. We are going to be celebrating a year of YouTube on December 23rd or 4th, as well as 2 years of Marikuma Healing on January 8th. If you're interested in having a card reading with me, right? If it's general, it's $20. If it's a shorter reading, it's $6. If it is a 2026 year reading, we are having a special. Some of you guys are from Uganda or Africa. We use different currencies than US. So for US money, right? If you have PayPal or Zelle, it is $20 for a 2026 year reading. If you happen to have Airtel Mobile Money or MTN, it will be 25K shillings, which is about $7 to $8. All right. If you don't have it, then $20 all around. Okay. Um, I'll talk about the whole year. I'll give you guys one on one. My Instagram is NYXR28, NYXR2828, as well as my TikTok is on my channel and things like my whole information. But I do FaceTime through Instagram, Facebook, and Snap to give you guys your reading. So, yeah. Anyways, if you're not interested in card readings before I go, I know, I prolong it. I do palm readings. I read your personality through your hands, and I offer counseling and advice. One palm is $6, two palm is 20, $6 a week for counseling, and $20 monthly. If you're interested in having a year worth of counseling and you just want a one and done, it's 120. So $120 either through PayPal, Zelle, or Airtel for a whole year of counseling. And for card reading is 240 for a whole year worth of any types of card readings you guys want through PayPal, Zelle, or Airtel. All right. Thank you guys for your love and support. Slay the day. Be happy and be gay. I love y'all very much. And Leo, so far, just for half of your summer, right? Work on your mental and emotional well being. We are going to be tackling January through December, obstacles, solutions, and themes for next year. All right. Peace out, guys. Bye.